So you've decided to file for divorce and you're wondering how your spouse is going to get served with the divorce complaint. In New Jersey, we prefer personal service. So what does personal service mean? Once your attorney files your divorce complaint with the court, they're going to receive the divorce complaint back with a docket number and a stamp that actually says filed. That means your divorce complaint is filed in the county in which you live. At that point, you need to discuss with your attorney how you're going to serve that complaint on your spouse. Whether you're going to personally serve it, meaning you're going to send a sheriff or a process server to your spouse's home to serve them with the complaint, or is your spouse amicable about the divorce and they're going to accept service by way of signing an acknowledgement saying that they received the complaint for divorce. So my clients often say, well, what's the easiest way to do it? There's no easy way to do it in every single case. You really have to know the case. So if you and your spouse are still living in the same house, and let's say you have, 1 or 2 or 3 young children in the house, you may not want a process server to knock on your door on Saturday morning while your spouse is playing with the kids and say, hey, you've been served. That may spark an argument in your house. It may create ill will in the house for the entire weekend. And you might say, well, I want to avoid that. So in a situation like that, I might say to my client, okay, how about I send a letter? I send a letter to your spouse saying, hi, it's Tanya Freeman. Your spouse hired me to represent them in a divorce action. If you have an attorney, have your attorney call me. And if you don't have an attorney, please advise of whether or not you will accept service by signing this acknowledgement. And they simply take the acknowledgement to a notary, they sign it, have it notarized, and they send it back to me. At that point, the 35-day period begins to count. From the day they signed it and send it back to me, it's 35 calendar days they have to file an answer. Sometimes we have to be more creative with the service. Maybe your spouse has already moved out and they moved into an apartment. Is it an apartment where a process server can just go and knock on their door? Is there a doorman? Is there a buzzer to get into the building? All of those small details are going to matter to your attorney. It makes it easier for me to tell the process server how he or she will gain access to the building in order to serve your spouse personally. Maybe your spouse leaves for work every day at 7:30. Okay, I know at 7:30 my spouse is going to be in the driveway, and I prefer to serve my spouse right in the driveway because I don't want to do it on Saturday morning in front of the children. So these are all things that you can discuss with your attorney, whether personal service is better for you or whether your spouse will sign an acknowledgement of service.